Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. How do you call a military attack, or a drone attack, or a missile attack, or I don't know, a bomb attack on a city, on a, I don't know, apartment building, on a business, non military facility? How would you call that? Terrorist attack? No? All right, well, does it matter if there are casualties or not? So let's say the September 11 attacks on the United States of America, let's say the World Trade Center would have been empty. And let's say there would be some missile attack destroying it. Let's say it would be I don't know, how do you call that? Saudi missile from Saudi Arabia. Would that be considered, or from Iraq? Would that be considered a terrorist attack or no? Because there were no victims. It was just an infrastructure. It's a building, a business, hit by a missile. Would that be a terrorist attack, considered a terrorist attack or no? I can guarantee you these guys will say it's a terrorist attack because it is a terrorist attack. So attacking another country's civilians' infrastructure or businesses, it's a terrorist attack. However you want to turn it, because always turn it the other way around and see how would you categorize it, label it as if that will happen to you. And I guarantee you, if World Trade Center will be empty, no humans, and someone will hit it with a missile or a drone, the Americans will consider it, or would have considered it, a terrorist attack. That's a done, clear statement. Do you disagree with that? I don't want to say it might happen in the future, and then I'm going to hear you say, oh, well, that's a terrorist attack. Okay, so what happened now? Overnight, the 22nd to the 23rd, the Ukrainians, or at least a drone, hit a commercial building in the financial hub of Moscow, in downtown Moscow. Is that a terrorist attack? Nobody died. It was just damaged the building. Is there a terrorist attack? I think it is. So let's read this little article here. Russia Today, the 23rd of August, 2023. Drone strikes Moscow's financial hub. A UAV has crashed into a building in the Russian capital's business district, Sergei Sobyanin said. And I have a video as well. A drone has flown into Moscow City, the Russian's capital's financial and business hub, crashing into a building that is under construction. It says in the early hours of Wednesday. He added that no one was hurt. The Russian defense minister later released a statement saying that a total of 3 Ukrainian UAVs were on a mission to conduct, quote-unquote, a terrorist attack on Moscow. It said that 2 drones were destroyed mid-air, while the third one veered off course due to signal jamming and crashed into a building in the city's business district. So Moscow City, which contains some of Europe's tallest skyscrapers, hosts the offices of several Russian ministries and agencies, as well as high-end apartment blocks. The district has been targeted by Ukrainian drones in the past. Residents reported hearing loud blasts, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, you can say, you know what? It happened because the Russians veered it into that. It veered because of the jamming system. Well, where was it going to hit what? The Minister of Defense of the Russian Federation. So let's see this. It's just gonna see us the damage as long as the drone hitting it. Oh, wait, let's go. Basically, that's it with that. So drone wreckage was reported found in Pip, where a residential block and a shop were damaged. So you see, again, residential block. This is evidence, as the Ukrainians provide evidence. Now, let's say someone, a mass murderer, commits a crime of, let's say, 100 people. Would you call that person a mass murderer? Of course. Here in the United States, if you have 3 or 4 killed, it's called a mass shooting. I think now they drop it to 3 or something like that. If it's 3 or above 3, I can't remember, it's 3 or 4, not even 4, 3 I think it is. If it's more than 3, it's called a mass shooting. All right. So if it's a mass shooting, you're a mass murderer if you kill 3. Now, if you kill 3 and versus someone who kills, let's say, 100, would you call the same that guy a mass murderer? Yes. Now you say, oh, it's only 3 versus 100. Will qualify the same definition. Will fall under the same definition. Terrorist attack, war crime. If you have casualties, correct. So I mean, I made this video not to cry for the Russians. They're big enough, to hold it. My point here is nobody in the West, not nobody. The articles I'm reading, from CNN, Reuters, Associated Press, or Agence France-Presse, BBC, The Telegraph, Deutsche Welle, they will not shed a tear about this. And they will not label this as a terrorist attack. I saw that on many occasions. They will call it a drone attack. Or a drone conducted, whatever, crashed into a building. That's how it is said. A drone, they will not say Ukrainian drone. They will say a drone crashed in, damaging this. They reported that it was like, picking up a flower. Or, a branch fell off a certain tree. We don't know what tree. It just fell. We don't know if it hit anybody. It's just that's it. Like that, like an act of God. Well, we know it's not an act of God. We know that someone calculated, planned that, and conducted the mission. And the mission was not to distribute leaflets or dollar bills. It was to hurt someone. And so far, since this operation began, I haven't heard one time. I think this was actually one time when they claimed they hit, there was a burn. They burned some offices, but it was not certain that it was a drone attack. But in Moscow so far, I don't remember, being an attack on the Ministry of Defense. It was on the Kremlin. Okay, there were those two drones one time. Remember, it was a video and so on. I'll say, okay, would you say, okay, that's legitimate? Well, that means it's legitimate for the Russians to do the same thing to Zelensky? Regardless if they can or they can't, are they entitled to blow up the other country's leader? If these guys are looking for the same thing. So you see, if the laws are not universal, and across the board they apply to each of us, then they're not laws. A preferential, application of certain, diktats. So anyway, that's why I make this one, just to make sure that people understand and know that these guys are doing the same thing to these guys. At a lower scale, that's true, but they're still doing it. 3 versus 100. Still you call it, as I said you will call it. But anyway, that's it. I hope this garbage stops yesterday. And I hope that they discuss and this piece over there and they get the weasels out and the Ukrainians complete their destiny and the Ukrainians will be back in charge in their own country and will be free, independent, and really sovereign. That's what I hope. But with these guys settling them, that's not going to happen. Maybe, I don't know. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.